struggled a little bit at home, getting the 3 points here. How big was that just to kind of get back on the right side of the ledger?
Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, it's important. Just trying to make this point to the squad before the game that, for me, it's been pure joy and pride to watch how well we've done while I was gone, and really, finding ourselves in a really good position on the table. But the only reason why we do this is to get good seeding in the playoffs, so that we can play more games at home. And so for that to really count and matter, we have to make this a fortress again. And so we have a few opportunities left to do so. And, today wasn't pretty, but we won. We kept a clean sheet. That's a good start.
Reminder, we do have Bob here to translate for JP, but I'll go to Masvida next.
Yeah. JP, Stefan came back and some other players came back. Just what did it mean to have some of the veterans to join in this effort to get the win?
Eu entendi, eu acho que posso responder. Acho que tem a experiência que conta muito, ainda mais nesses jogos que dentro de casa, quando a gente está ganhando e precisa segurar o resultado, quando a gente tem que ganhar um pouco de tempo. Tem todos esses fatores, sem citar a qualidade, né, individual deles, que não precisa nem estar aqui falando, mas então acho que tem muita importância a volta deles. Eles vão somar ainda muito e agregar bastante nessa reta final da temporada.
Yes, definitely it counts because of the experience, and obviously it's good, for these moments when we are winning and we need to hold the result, also hold time, maintain time, and not to even talk, obviously, the individual qualities of everybody. So definitely important, all these players to return. They'll certainly add, and it's going to be very important in this last stretch of the season.
Jeremiah, go ahead.
Yes, Steph, you've been out obviously for several months. What were the emotions like for you to be back out on the field, and were there nerves at all?
Oh, I got about 2 hours of sleep last night, so. But I always say I think butterflies are important because it shows that you care. I think if you wouldn't have any butterflies, then there'd be something wrong. So it was good. Felt really good just to hear the boom boom clap, to see the fans, and I thought the national anthem before was really good. It felt good for me to be back out there personally, and in the game I felt comfortable. Definitely mentally draining. That's something that you can't really practice for 90 minutes to have to be so sharp and so focused. So hopefully that will, I'll get better with that. But it's just such a pleasure, and to be back on the pitch, and an honor to be back on the pitch for the squad. I don't take this for granted at all. I think it's really special, and I love the group that we have. I think we have a very skilled group. I'm excited what we can achieve with this group.
Masvida, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to take you off the field, but you brought it up. The national anthem, and I know you took your citizenship, 9/11, 20 years, and all of that. Just all the emotional stuff you were going through the game, before the game, I should say.
Yeah, it's a big game because of 9/11, and not forgetting what happened there, and with the recent happenings in Afghanistan and how that it's all connected. I think it's important for us to know what happened or educate ourselves how this is all connected, and the moves we made, the decisions we made as a country, the emotions we went through, the healing we had to go through, all of that. On top of that, I'd be amiss to forget that this is our Kick Childhood Cancer match as well, which is also a big push and something that I'm proud that we're involved in. So, I think with the bagpipes, it was done really well, I have to say. Usually, I come from Europe where usually you don't hear too many national anthems, and when they do, they're very rare, and then it's special. But I thought today maybe it was just because it was my first game back, but it was done really well, and I appreciated it.
I think we'll go to the Zoom portion. Kelly, anybody from Zoom? Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll start with Jada Evans.
Thanks. The question is for Stefan. well, both of y'all, congratulations on the win. But Steph, for you, I don't know if quarantine counts, but this is the longest stretch that you have been out since 2013. What was that like? What was that like? And then also, can you talk a little bit about Steph Cleveland and Spencer Ritchie and how they performed in your place?
Yeah, for me, personally was a roller coaster of emotions because early on I think we feared the worst with my injuries and even I think the doctors in San Jose weren't too optimistic about it. So felt like I dodged a bullet there at first when it was a bit better than we expected, and then obviously complication with blood clots and more things. It made it frustrating because I take pride in, I think, working hard and trying to come back as quickly as possible and almost prove the doctors wrong and come back and shave off a week or two. But with blood clots and blood thinners, that's the protocol, and there's no shaving off time there. So it was very frustrating to just sit there, feel like I was ready, wanting to help out, but not being able to. At the same time, I think the fact that we played so well, and especially my fellow goalkeepers with Cleve and Spence and Alex Roldan, for me, some people could look at that as more pressure, but for me, it gave me comfort that I didn't need to rush back. I could really focus on my own rehab and recovery because we were in such good hands. And again, for me, the pride comes into play because we pride ourselves in having a good squad as a whole, but also a really tight and good group of goalkeepers. And we always say that we grow together, and I think that there's no better season to show that than this year, how we've done that. So couldn't be more proud of everybody, and happy again to be part of the squad and happy to be part of this Keepers Union.
Jada, if you have a follow-up, go ahead.
Oh, great, thanks. This is for both of y'all. I mean, the depth, I guess, of talent. Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, because again, you have some players that were starting for the first time in Nico, so there's rare starts. So can you talk a little bit about that, though, the way that you guys are interchangeable in a sense?
Não entendi.
A pergunta pode falar um pouco a gente está falando da profundidade, do talento do time completo e tantos jogadores voltando a jogar, alguns jogando pela primeira vez. Comenta pra gente sobre isso.
Acho que é importante a gente ter um grupo sólido, com bastante jogadores que vão agregar. A gente não pode nunca pensar que a gente vai chegar longe na temporada ou nos playoffs com apenas 11 jogadores. Então a gente tem que estar preparado como um time, com 18, 20 atletas, como a gente tem demonstrado, até mais, né? Ainda mais a gente sente estender, né, para os jovens jogadores que estão aparecendo agora. Esse cara aqui do meu lado, a gente sentiu muita falta dele. Obviamente, quem substituiu ele fez um grande trabalho, mas a presença dele traz muita segurança e uma energia muito grande, né, para a nossa equipe.
Definitely important to have a sound roster, full roster, and all the players really add. You cannot think that you can get far or to the playoffs playing with just 11. We need to be a prepared team playing with 18, 20, and we've demonstrated there, probably even with more players, especially some of the young players that are just showing up now. And this guy here on my side, we missed him, and we liked what the replacements did. They did a great work. But definitely, the sense of security and the energy that he gives, it's definitely important to all of us.
Steph, do you want to take that one too?
I think you did an excellent job there.
Fine. If there's nothing else on Zoom, we'll go back into the room here. Jeremiah, I think you had a follow-up.
Yeah, I'm just curious what you guys thought of Minnesota's press. It seemed like they came out, certainly at the start of both halves, pressing pretty high, and I'm just curious how you felt like you handled that.
I thought we did okay. In first half, I felt quite comfortable. Second half, when they bring Adi in, you have to start being a bit more cautious of allowing crosses in. Just he's such a big guy, it's a dangerous guy, so that changed things a little bit. But I thought we did okay. They were at times they were pressing, but for me they were pressing quite disconnected, and it allowed that little gap where I was trying to find Will or Nico with an underhit ball, and at one point Will did so well and flicked one on. Could have found ourselves up 2-0 right away there. So I think they presented decent challenges, but I thought they pressed even more aggressively the very first game in the season, the first 30, 40 minutes. So obviously they're missing one of their top creative players as well there. We're also missing a guy, so we're missing, Javi wasn't here, Raul wasn't here, so but I thought we handled it quite well.
Moss, go ahead.
Yeah, and this one's for João Paulo. It's difficult to get a win in MLS, but just getting a 1-0 win and just everything that it takes in terms of defensively and also, just defensively, getting a tough 1-0 win. What did that take?
Eu acho que a gente fez um jogo sólido. Não foi, eu acho, a melhor partida que a gente fez. Talvez a gente tenha jogado até melhor outros jogos dentro de casa e não venceu. Então, hoje a gente jogou de uma certa maneira, depois que a gente fez o primeiro gol, um pouco mais cuidadoso quando a gente tinha bola, quando a gente atacava, para não deixar espaço para contra-ataque, para eles empatar o jogo. Achei que a gente podia ter jogado um pouco melhor no último terço, mas eu acho que a sequência que a gente teve negativa dentro de casa trouxe isso para o jogo hoje.
We played a solid match, probably not even our best. There were other matches that we played better at home, but didn't get the win. So today we played in a certain way. After we scored the goal, we were a little bit more careful in the way that we defended, the way that we attacked. We didn't want to leave room for counterattacks. Probably towards the last third of the match, we kept a little bit more of that safety, and the other times that we played, that sequence that we played at home without the win, maybe influenced that way.